Well, you may recognize this lady beside me as Jessica Daw, the Garden of the Week person, but that's not totally true. You're actually Jessica Daw, the bug lady.
As well.
As well. Now, we brought you here because a lot of people in Canada have put a lot of plants out on their balcony and now have to bring them in, or will be bringing them in the next little while to protect them from the cold. But they could be bringing in a lot of bugs as well.
Yes, they could.
Is there some things that they can do to protect that so they don't have a house full of these little creepy crawly creatures?
Absolutely. People like to put out their hibiscus and their spathiphyllums and ficus out onto the deck in the early or later springtime to to give them the natural environment. And when we bring them in, indeed, we can be bringing in spider mites and fungus gnats and thrips, which can be a problem. The first thing that I'd like to see people do in the fall when they're ready to bring their plants in is to use some insecticidal soap, okay, and treat their plants. They're going to be has a lower impact on the environment, so it's not going to affect the other beneficials that are out there. You want to spray the top of your leaves, as well as the undersides.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
And get right down into the crown of the plant.
Yeah.
Because of course this is where a lot of the pests like to hide, is right down there into the cracks and crevices of it all.
Now that's a contact kill, so it's not actually going to go through everywhere, right?
That's right. It's not systemic.
Right.
Yes. So we are looking for a contact kill. Hence, we want to get it all over the green matter.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Now, often people will say, "Well, I did it and it didn't work so well." Is it something that sometimes you have to do multiple times?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Because it is a contact. You may have to do it 2 or 3 times over the first little bit that you bring the plant back in, which you're really avoiding a lot of damage by getting a head start on it all.
Okay.
The other thing is when you're bringing plants in at the end of the season is fungus gnats. Okay, now you're wondering what a fungus gnat is, or maybe
I think I have a pretty good idea, but yeah.
Have you ever wandered around your house smacking your hands?
Black guys,
exactly. Yes. And they breed in your pots. Okay. Now they are native, right? They occur all across Canada in leaf debris and that kind of thing, and they love to breed in our pots, especially when we bring them indoors after spending the summer outdoors. Right. So with that, what I'd like to see people do is flush their plants with good clean water. Just give it a really good flush. And then use a predatory mite called Hypoaspis miles. Now this predatory mite feeds on the juveniles of fungus gnats. So it's easy enough to apply.
Can we stick some on here?
Absolutely. It's a teeny tiny mite.
Okay.
And there's about 3,000 of them in this container. And it's as simple as just spooning or sprinkling a little on, just like that.
That's it.
Okay.
Now, I see some things moving in there. That
would be
That's the good thing.
That's the good things, that's right, yeah. But you don't have to worry about them moving throughout the rest of your house.
Oh, okay, I was going to ask you that, because I mean, when I look at that, I say, wow, I think I almost want the fungal gnats. Now, they won't go through the rest of this one.
They won't go through the rest of the house because they want to stay where the food source is.
Right.
Think of it, like you and I in our homes. Are we going to leave a fully stocked fridge? Absolutely not. No, they're going to stay in their little world, in their little environment. They can go for an extended period of time without food.
Right.
And they feed on a few other things other than the fungus gnats. So they're just going to be happily surviving and reproducing in the pot. Okay. Typically it's once a season that you have to do an application of the Hypoaspis.
Now with this, we didn't actually see any fungal gnats in here, and a lot of people may say, well, I don't have any, I don't have to worry about it. Can you use that as a preventative, just either whether or not seeing them?
Absolutely, absolutely, because they will come in. Yeah. Eventually the fungus gnats will come in, and like I said, they will sustain themselves in the pots until a population of fungus gnats develops, and then they'll sustain themselves on that.
Jessica, there's a lot of plants here. Are there specific bugs that go for specific plants? Maybe you can explain that for us?
Absolutely, just like in the outdoors. Spathiphyllums really prone to fungus gnats because they're a shade-loving, moisture soil kind of plant, suitable for fungus gnats. The limes and the lemons, very prone to mealybug, which is an imported pest, and also, we're dealing with a tropical plant here. So very prone to mealybug. And then spider mites love the palms. They just go crazy over both indoors and out. So those are some key plants to look out for when you're bringing them inside.
And we've got some Dieffenbachias and things around, and the Dracaenas. Is there bugs that are going to be attacking these as well, or are we into something different?
No, same type of situation. Really, there's a handful of pests that we want to look out for. With the Dieffenbachias, again, it's the same kind of thing as the Spathiphyllums. It's the fungus gnat.
Okay.
And with the Dracaenas, again, we're looking at the mealybugs.
Okay, perfect. Well, we've talked about a lot of different plants and a lot of different bugs. Can we come back a little bit later in the show and figure out how we're going to deal with them?
I'd love to.